Elon Musk didn't just get rich overnight. He risked everything most people wouldn't touch. From failed rockets to near bankruptcy, he kept betting on the impossible. And it's these bets that turned ideas into a $750 billion empire. Elon Musk did not wake up one day and build a $750 billion empire. It started with curiosity, obsession, risk, and an unusual tolerance for failure, beginning in Pretoria, South Africa, where a quiet, introverted child spent more time with books and computers than people, teaching himself programming at age 10, selling his first game at 12, and learning early that building things mattered more than fitting in, then moving to Canada at 17 to escape mandatory military service and to reach America, the center of technology and capital, studying physics and economics because physics teaches how reality works and economics teaches how incentives work, dropping out of a Stanford PhD after 2 days because the internet boom was happening now, not later, and co-founding Zip2, a basic online business directory that struggled for years before finally selling to Compaq for $307 million in 1999, giving Musk $22 million, which he did not treat as retirement money, but as fuel, immediately reinvesting almost everything into X.com, an online banking startup that later merged to become PayPal, where he pushed for aggressive growth, fast iteration, and bold decisions, often clashing with others, eventually being removed as CEO, but still owning enough equity that when PayPal sold to eBay for $1.5 billion in 2002, Musk walked away with $180 million. And this moment is critical because instead of diversifying safely like most founders, he made an extreme decision. He would put nearly all his money into solving problems everyone else avoided, splitting his capital into 3 bets that most investors called insane: space rockets, electric cars, and clean energy. Starting SpaceX in 2002 with the idea that space launch costs were artificially high due to government monopolies and bloated contractors, believing first principles thinking could cut costs by building rockets vertically integrated in-house, which led to years of failure, including 3 rocket explosions that nearly bankrupted the company, while Musk personally lived on loans, slept at the factory, and faced public ridicule, until the 4th launch succeeded in 2008, coincidentally just as NASA awarded SpaceX a crucial contract, saving the company and establishing Musk as a serious industrial entrepreneur, while at the same time investing heavily in Tesla, a tiny electric car startup most automakers mocked, eventually becoming CEO and forcing Tesla to vertically integrate batteries, software, motors, and manufacturing, refusing traditional advertising, using direct-to-consumer sales, over-the-air software updates, and relentless iteration, enduring production hell, near bankruptcy in 2017, 2018, and constant skepticism, but emerging stronger because Tesla was not just a car company, it was a battery company, a software company, and an energy platform, benefiting massively when global governments pushed climate incentives and investors realized Tesla's margins, brand, and data advantage were unlike traditional automakers, causing its valuation to explode, turning Musk into the world's richest person on paper, while SpaceX simultaneously disrupted the space industry with reusable rockets, slashing launch costs, winning government and commercial contracts, and creating Starlink, a satellite internet network that added a recurring revenue model and strategic geopolitical value, further increasing SpaceX's private valuation, while Musk expanded his vision into energy storage with Tesla Powerwall and Megapack, into AI and autonomy with full self-driving and Dojo chips, into infrastructure with the Boring Company, into neurotechnology with Neuralink, and into media and speech with the acquisition of Twitter, later rebranded as X, not as isolated businesses, but as interconnected nodes in a long-term strategy built on control of hardware, software, data, and distribution, funded not by profits early on, but by narrative, ambition, and capital markets willing to believe in scale before certainty, using public markets, government contracts, carbon credits, and extreme personal credibility to raise capital repeatedly, while maintaining unusually high personal ownership, which is why Musk's wealth fluctuates wildly with stock prices rather than cash flow, making his empire less about cash in the bank and more about control over systems shaping transportation, energy, communication, and space. And the final insight is this: Musk did not build a $750 billion empire by being safe, polite, or incremental, but by betting everything multiple times, compressing timelines, ignoring conventional advice, leveraging first principles thinking, using public attention as a strategic asset, and aligning massive global problems with scalable technology platforms. Meaning his story is not a blueprint anyone can copy exactly, but a case study in how extreme conviction, timing, capital leverage, and systems thinking can turn ideas that look irrational today into industries that look inevitable tomorrow. From this point onward, Elon Musk's journey stops being about building companies and starts being about shaping the direction of the future itself. Because once Tesla and SpaceX reached scale, Musk doubled down on the idea that technology should not just improve life, but protect civilization from long-term risks, which is why artificial intelligence became his next battlefield, where he publicly warned about AI dangers while simultaneously racing to build it faster than anyone else, believing controlled development is safer than ignorance, leading Tesla to push full self-driving not as a feature, but as a data engine, turning millions of cars into real-world training devices, feeding neural networks that learn from human behavior every second, while Dojo supercomputers were built to reduce reliance on external chip makers and secure Tesla's autonomy in the AI race. And at the same time, Neuralink emerged as Musk's most controversial bet, starting with medical use cases like paralysis and blindness, but quietly aiming at something bigger: a future where humans can interface directly with machines to avoid being left behind by super-intelligent AI. While SpaceX escalated its ambition with Starship, a fully reusable spacecraft designed not for prestige missions, but for mass transport, because Musk's belief is simple and brutal: a species confined to one planet is fragile, and Mars is not a dream, it is insurance, even if it takes decades, even if it fails multiple times, because survival is worth the risk. And this same logic explains Musk's acquisition of Twitter, later rebranded as X, a move widely misunderstood as impulsive chaos, but strategically aligned with Musk's obsession over information flow, free expression, and digital infrastructure, where he envisions X evolving into a global utility, combining communication, payments, identity, and AI interaction into one system, similar to WeChat, but scaled to the world. And throughout all of this, Musk's net worth continues to swing violently, sometimes losing or gaining tens of billions in days, not because his businesses are weak, but because his wealth is intentionally concentrated in volatile assets, allowing Musk to leverage stock rather than extract cash, reinvesting risk instead of locking in comfort, which means his empire exists less as a stable fortune and more as a constantly moving engine, fueled by long-term conviction rather than short-term certainty. And the deeper truth is this: Musk's power does not come from intelligence alone or money alone, but from narrative control, timing, and extreme willingness to endure pressure that most people avoid, criticism that would break others, failure that would end careers, and uncertainty that would scare investors away. Because for Musk, failure is not defeat, it is feedback. And the final chapter of his story is still unwritten, but the pattern is clear. He chooses problems that matter at a civilizational scale, applies first principles thinking, compresses timelines, ignores conventional advice, leverages public attention as a strategic asset, and aligns massive global problems with scalable technology platforms, meaning his story is not a blueprint anyone can copy exactly, but a case study in how extreme conviction, timing, capital leverage, and systems thinking can turn ideas that look irrational today into industries that look inevitable tomorrow.